What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the How to Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me tonight again. I got my man, Jay Bible in the building. What's up, bro?
Not much going on, fellas. Glad to have everyone back on here tonight. But I want a quick reminder for those interested in promos and shots, can shoot us a DM on IG at Holders Podcast. And you can email us as well as holderspodcast@gmail.com. All right, T.
I also got my man SD rocking with us. What's up, bro?
Oh man. Nothing. Basketball season has come to an end. Daddy duties for the weekend.
That's a grind.
They not done, but I got another season starting up in a little bit. But hey, for a couple weeks, I'm good. So I'm excited to be back and get this show on the road. But first, let me give a shout out to Brother Soul Production for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold a Husband podcast on Cash App and PayPal. All right, T.
I want to remind everybody that y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on the core94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Old Dog New Tricks. And we just going to be having a real in-depth conversation about how the logistics of dating or the day-to-day interactions of dating has changed over the years and how that impacts the experiences going forward. But y'all know how we do around here, man. We like to discuss stuff that we've seen trending or things that have gone viral. So we got a couple interesting videos to discuss this week. This first video is a feel-good story or a feel-good video of a guy showing how we used to do it, where he was shooting his shot at a woman, I believe, at the mall. Let's take a look.
Yeah, see, this is why I can't do the large crowds. Yeah.
As fine as you look, you know I'm gonna have to shoot my shot. I don't know how many other guys came up to you, and I have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
I have to take my turn, and as that sounds terrible. Oh my God, but I have to. What is your name, sweetheart?
Star.
Star?
Yeah.
Is that your real name?
Now, I got to give my man credit for even interrupting a woman that's actively using her phone. I think for a lot of guys, a woman on her phone snapping up or having her cameras a deterrent. But I like the way hey, what's going on? I don't know how many dudes, express their interest, but I ain't worried about that. Like, you gotta you don't have to be perfect when you break in the ice for introducing yourself. You need to give some type of compliment. Hello, beautiful. I just had to say, I had to say something to you, and then give a heartfelt or a honest account of how you feeling at the moment. And if she's even slightly interested in you, bro, you gonna get some type of action. So I commend my boy for doing it in public in front of everybody, especially with her on her phone. What y'all think?
Hey man, that's my favorite approach. Me personally, I don't embarrass easily. And honestly, a lot of women are shocked when men do it. They actually appreciate it more when a man actually approached them face to face. That's my preferred method. It most times nowadays it kind of works. The only thing is I probably wouldn't do is if she's actively recording a video and I see it, I'll wait. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll stalk her around the mall till she's done. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, once I see the phone go down and she like this here, then boom, there go my opener. Because I don't want to interrupt the video. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I be walking around Victoria's Secret, pinching on the little mannequins like I'm like, man, she's still recording the video? You know what I mean? Just waiting on her to finish with her video. Then I'll make my move.
I don't know if approaching a woman at Victoria's Secret is appropriate. I would probably.
What you mean?
Let me tell you what I think that location specifically I would wait till she walked back out the store. Yeah. I mean, to me, what's your thought? I'll let Jake tell you.
Real quick, hold on. Let me say this real quick about Victoria's Secret because I've done it. All right, it ain't something I do a lot, but I'm saying I've done it. And what I typically do, or in any woman's store, like it's an all-woman store, typically what I do is I walk up to her, I look, see if she got a ring on. She ain't got no ring on. I walk up to her like I work there. Excuse me, can I help you with something? And she like, no, I got everything. And then I'll be like, you know what? I don't really work here. I just came in here because I saw you outside and I want to talk to you. So it's kind of like an icebreaker, joke, funny moment. You know what I'm saying? Because you
That's
get a woman to
fair.
laugh or smile, then you know what I'm saying. If she's single, you probably gonna be able to go a little further with it.
Well,
So,
that's Jesus. I agree with that.
I think I gotta get the notepad for that one.
hey man, go ahead and break that one down. I'm trying to tell you, it works wonders, man, because you in an all-woman store. So when you kind of, it's an icebreaker. Like, can I help you with anything? You finding everything okay? And she like, and a lot of times they look at you like, you ain't got on no outfit, you got bags, and it's like, it'll be like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, you're not good. I don't even work here, but it's just the way that I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's
man.
smart.
Try it out,
That's
Jay. What you think?
expert level flirting. Go ahead,
I'm
Jay.
trying to tell you.
No, well, when you show there's a level, I think when you're talking to her, when you want to see a level of confidence, I think you showed that even though she was on her phone, because a lot of times I've seen it as a turn. Even I myself be guilty. If I see a woman that's on her phone, I just wouldn't really go approach her. I feel like, okay, she's more occupied, whatever she got going on, especially if she's recording, and that's something. And you take the risk, right? You run the risk of her recording you, hey, look at this guy trying to holler at me.
Yeah, you can go
viral. That goes viral. Then you become a viral or something like that. So it's just like, let me just leave it alone. Let me wait till she gets on her phone as opposed to going to talk to her. And you subject yourself to a situation like that potentially.
Well, I agree with that. It does open the door for the viral moment, but I don't think any woman that's really interested or a quality woman is going to embarrass a dude just for, you know what I'm saying, for shooting the shot. I know a lot of women get annoyed, they get tired of guys approaching them and all that, but from a guy perspective, the courage it takes, the confidence, you got to know who you are to be able to, because chances are it's a numbers game. It's not you gonna get rejected. She just because she don't have a ring don't mean she don't have a boyfriend or somebody she smashed.
Yeah.
So you can't reject. She could be not even straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there are a lot of things that could cause her to not give you the number or whatnot. But just the vibe, you can almost tell instantly. A smile, if she react with a positive body language, if you keep it going, like you said, with the laughing and the joking and the icebreaker, that's the formula for success.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, I surveyed the men, and I asked the men, does a woman being on her phone deter them from shooting a shot at a woman? And I think like 80% of men said yes. And it's a deterrent. It's a deterrent. Like I'm not thinking about becoming a viral moment because I'm not disrespectful when I approach a woman. So I don't expect a woman to do nothing disrespectful like that. But it's a courtesy thing more than anything, because I have at times, in the past, approached women that were on the phone and they like, you know what I'm saying? They get kind of, it can be kind of irritating. You know what I mean? That you see that they're busy on the phone because one time I had talked to a chick. I just started, approached her, whatever, and she was actually talking to her dude. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things. Yeah. So you don't know who this woman is talking to or whatever. You know what I mean? That's why I encourage women when they ask me, what can they do to be more approachable outside? I tell them, put your phone in your purse and stay off of it, because it's a deterrent for most men from approaching you while they see you. That's why a lot of dudes be like, hey, I saw you at the mall today, but you was looking good in your DMs. Because they ain't approach you. You walking around like this the whole time. You know what I'm saying? With your phone in your hand. And it's a repellent for men approaching women. And a lot of them don't even think of it that way. A lot of women don't.
Yeah, because women are not actively, seeking out men when they're in public spaces like the way that men have to do, or at least the men that have success. Like SD said, you gotta put in a little stalker when you see somebody that you actually like. It's no different than in the club. You might have to go reposition yourself in a club to be able to see her or be seen. So these are strategies. These are things that are thought, logical decisions that the men that have success do to have success. Outside of the making sure you get a haircut, cologne, clothes, all that type of stuff is cool. But everybody can do that. It's the behaviors and the engagement itself that really separates the guys. Like I said, when you got a guy that's a wingman, or you can tag team to where you go say something and you know what I'm saying, you see a group, pair, 2 or 3 chicks and they bad. You need guys that understand the assignment and can move accordingly in order to have group success.
Man, I don't need nobody. I'm going by myself. I seen the one that I want. You can tag along if you want to tag along. But for me, I'm going into the group. I'll be like, man, how y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I saw you over here, and I wanted to see if you were single. And there you go. I don't need no tag man, no wing man, no man. I don't need nothing. Just me. That's all I need. And if you want to come along.
So the only thing that I used to hate about that scenario is it seems like you gonna choose the one that got a boyfriend already. You know what I'm saying? But the most attractive one is usually snatched up already. So I've been in situations where you shoot your shot at one and it end up being one that was more interested in you. So I would try to peek the scene and see who was checking me out most. So sometimes I wouldn't go for the most attractive one if she wasn't giving me the vibe. So yeah, there's different game plans, different, scouting reports.
I gotta tell y'all what happened to me about 2 months ago. I gotta tell y'all this, right? This story. My guys invited me out to this little lounge or whatever. So we there, I see this chick. She there with like 5 other girls. It's some dudes, but the dudes is like, it's a big long table. Like, it's a lounge. So I ain't thinking, they ain't even interacting with the dudes. They interacted with themselves. And I see Shorty, she's looking at me, I'm looking, I'm like, I'm vibing. I'm like, all right, there. So I go ahead, boom. I say, man, I'm finna go ahead and make my move on Shorty, because she was nice. I make my move over there, boom. I say, man, how y'all doing? How everybody doing? And they all looked at me like, the friends, like they look was off when I got there. And so I said, hey, you know what? I saw you. I was over there. I thought you was gorgeous. I just wanted to see if you had a man. She was like, yeah, I'm married. He right there. And I was like,
oh, shit. Damn.
I was like, oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I didn't see.
Hold on. So her husband was there, but he wasn't in her. He was there.
No, they weren't. He was with his boys. She was with her girls, like on opposite sides of the table. And so I didn't see her ring because she was facing the opposite way. The ring finger was on the opposite end of me, and I was on her right side. So I didn't even see it. So I was like, oh, well, I'm, no offense. I didn't mean no disrespect. So, hey, y'all have a nice night. And I went on, walked back over to, with my boys. They was like, what happened? You know what happened when you come back from talking to a chick, right? Your boys, they'll be like, what happened? And I'm like, man, her husband sitting there. They was like, what? Her husband? I was like, yeah. And my boy was like, and to apologize to him.
Don't take offense to that, bro.
Yeah,
that should be the expectations if you have an attractive wife. Now, you shouldn't smack her ass or do nothing crazy, but approaching your woman with respect. Hey, how you doing, beautiful?
That's it.
She should know how to handle it and redirect the conversation. Like Esty said, "Nah, I got a man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you for the compliment. Like, having that little interaction is not her disrespecting her husband, or I've seen people. A woman shouldn't say anything to a man, and like, man, chill out. Like,
a woman look at her.
Conversation. Yeah, a woman having a conversation like with another man is not that big of a deal. So that ain't nothing you need to be insecure about or feel no type of way. Like, you don't need to approach SD. Don't be walking up on one. Like, chill out, bro. That's the wrong type of energy.
I'm sure
it was a compliment to the level of attraction your woman has.
Yeah, he didn't say nothing. My guy was like, man, you should apologize to her husband. I said, I ain't apologizing to that fool.
For what?
I said, first off, I don't even know which one he is until he came over after the fact. And I was like, I don't even know who he is. Plus, I wasn't disrespectful. So I don't need to apologize for nothing. I just tried to holler at Shorty. She said she had a man. Man, I ain't apologizing to dude. And he better not come over here with nothing. So he never said nothing. And then when I left by myself, and they was all standing outside. The husband and his boys were standing there. I walked right past them and went to my car. And I was like, hey, man, I got that file on me, so y'all might want to, you know what I mean? Go ahead about your business now. And it was cool. Like, it wasn't no thing. So, you know, you got to be respectful when you outside. Even when you try to talk to a chick. That's just for the guys. Like, just be respectful. Even if you get rejected, even if you get turned down, whatever the case, always keep it player. You know, keep it stoic, act like a man, and be respectful when you're talking to women, regardless of how it play out for you.
That's facts.
All right, man, let's keep things rolling, man. This next video is a video that I came across my timeline about never settling and that rhetoric. Let's take a look.
Here's the thing about settling, ladies. You have to realize men have been settling. If you think you are the woman of his dreams, you are sorely mistaken. Again, men will marry the woman that is good enough if she is unproblematic and useful to him. All the other stuff that you think you're exceptional at, somebody else can do. So please believe you are not the one settling here. And over the course of the lifetime, because we naturally slow down as women, because men are built for the long haul, they will carry the burden. So they're doing that for somebody that is not their first choice.
Yeah, I agree with everything that she said for the most part. And that's why I really hate that phrase settling. You know what I'm saying? Never settle, not settling. I think it does a real disservice to the dating market in general, because essentially the word settle means to reach an agreement. You know, y'all know I work in insurance. So whenever we settle a claim, that means we reached an agreement on what the amount was that we gonna pay or whatnot. So there's nothing wrong with settling, you know what I'm saying, on somebody for a realistic option. Another thing that she said in the clip that kind of stood out to me that I don't like is your dream girl or your dream guy. Like that's hopeless romantic talk. Like I used to think like that when I was a teenager. Like ain't no such thing as your dream girl. Like everybody's gonna have issues or problems or things that you're going to have conflicts with and that you're going to actually have to compromise over. And so I think when people getting back to reality and getting rid of that kind of terminology, you're never going to meet your dream girl. Now, can you meet somebody that you find very attractive and you would really like to smash? Yes, that's lust. That's, you know what I'm saying, desire, fantasy, but there's no such thing as this dream person that's going to just be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to train yourself to not even think in those terms, in my opinion.
Man, you know what's crazy? You know, I always tell these here women that come on my page that when they say they're not going to settle, the next question I ask is, but are you expecting the man to settle on you? I always ask them that because one thing, most of them, the thing is, most women never even thought about it. They never even thought about it. So if they typically talk about this money more than anything when they talk about settling, right? Okay, cool. That's one thing that you all absolutely want. You want providers, cool. What is it that men, this is what I ask them, what are the main things that men generally want in a woman? Beauty, fitness, and youth in most cases. These are things. So now, sweetheart, you 48, okay? Let's start here. You 48, cool.
Oh,
right?
Man.
You a 4 in the face. You 80 pounds overweight. And you say, so this is what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying.
Killing me, man.
Because we can talk about it, but I'm saying I have to do this because they can talk about the men all day long and not settling without even caring or thinking about what are the things that men really want most. Now, men settle for those things being, hey, she a little out of shape. Yeah, but she's a really good woman. She's not as pretty. Yeah, but she's a good mother. You know what I'm saying? She's not as young. Yeah, but she does things for a man. She's peaceful, right? Men will settle on those things because we know reality tells us as adults, we are not going to get every single thing that we want in somebody. If you this man only exists in most of their minds and in their dreams. Like they wouldn't even date Jesus because Jesus didn't have a job. They wouldn't even date Jesus because he didn't have no money, right? So you got to be this perfect dude that do all of this stuff, and they don't even understand that type of guy that's even remotely close to that has got so many options that he's not going to pick an overweight single mom that's 48 years old that's a 4 in the face. 9 times out of 10, he ain't picking you. That's why the dating market is so off, because the average women don't like the average men because they feel like they settling. They never think that men is settling on them.
Now, I like T said, I hate this word settle, right? And I think the problem we have with a lot of these women in today's day and age, especially with the internet, is they think they can have it all, right? They think they can have the guy that's, 6'4", physically fit, makes 250,000 and so on and so forth. They think they can have that guy. I mean, yeah, you might have access to because we have social media, we have the internet, but they just want it all. And like that's a great point that you made, right? Don't you think the man could be selling on you? Like, look, we all have our flaws. We can't have it all. We're going to be missing something. We're not going to be sufficient in everything, but you can't just be, I guess, average across the board.
Or not necessarily missing something. You're meeting somebody in progress. So somebody that he could be in his early 30s and on a path to making 250,000, but you met him before he got there. So it's like they don't have the foresight to think long term. Like the things that women should be evaluating guys on: his work ethic, his long-term planning, his vision, his ambition, you know what I'm saying, the mutual respect and his communication with others. Like the stuff that comes up in every story that we talk about, right? Like earlier, SD was talking about how he was respectful and I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like men that have values and a system that they live by, that monitors their entire life. And so women should be identifying those things, not who popped the most bottles, not who had the biggest ring, not who presented them with this short-term vision of what women look for. And so a lot of them search for the wrong things and they don't think long-term, that I think causes them to make a lot of bad decisions in regards to choosing guys.
Oh, absolutely, man. Because all of them, when you talk to a lot of these single women, they got the same story. They got the same story where they done talk to these dudes. Oh, he was this, he was that. Okay, but guess what they got in their DMs or in their friend zone? A really great dude. It's a really great dude somewhere around them that's sitting there beating off because she won't give him a chance. She ain't paying him no attention. Like he's sitting in the DMs talking to himself. And then they go get the dudes that's, you know what I'm saying, that's popping out here. Yeah. Even though that don't equate to being a good man or any of that stuff. They see these here girls on social media with these here relationships, and then they dream or think that they can have this dude too when they don't know nothing behind the scenes. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They just see what's out in front of them, and they just create this man, this super Negro in their mind.
That's what you said, because the dude that you said that she got this left on red on the DM, that's the dude she thinks she's actually settling for.
Too good for.
Yeah. And she'll circle a lot of times when they go circle the block back to that dude, it's after she don't mess with the guys. You subscribe there, and then it's just like, and by the time she wants to get back to him, it's a day late and $1 short.
It's too late.
And she's only viewed as a sexual or fun option. She's never the one that he actually wants to be with.
Yeah, she done played so many games. Now he finna play right back. Now he finna play the joke on you. Okay, let me go ahead and hit real quick and then I'm out. You wanted to play me for 15 years? Okay. So, it comes back to bite them. But hey, you make your bed, you gotta lay in it.
Yeah, and guys, I mean, I guess it depends on your journey, what your perspective is gonna be. Some guys have successful women early high school, early 20s. They're learning things and having success. But some guys don't actually get access to women until they have financial success or career success. And those are the guys that are typically going to be more judgmental. They're going to be less willing to be forgiving and looking at women, looking past their flaws or shortcomings. But unfortunately, the way that the system is set up, guys, the incentive for guys to sell dope and do all these risky things is a lot of it has to do with the way that they'll be treated by women. They'll have access to women almost instantly by making those choices, even though they're extremely risky and dangerous. The guys that have the foresight to go through training, to put themselves in a position to make legitimate money and to be able to provide for a family. Yeah, they might not have all the chicks when they're young. You know what I'm saying? They see chicks leaving them for dope dealers and upperclassmen and all that type of stuff. But eventually he's gonna have his day. And a lot of women, you might have had that dude when he was on his path, but you curved him or you left him for some silly reason. And that's kind of what I be trying to prevent women from doing. Like, man, he ain't gonna be perfect, but I can spot a dude that's gonna be a great 40-year-old husband, you know what I'm saying? Almost just based off hearing what he's doing with his life and a couple conversations with him.
Yeah. See, they don't understand. They don't understand that the longer they wait. See, a lot of women want to catch the man at the finish line when he's already built. He's already built himself and got all this stuff going. Listen, the longer you wait for that man to build himself up, it's going to be 1,000 times tougher than it would have been had you got with him in college. Had you got with that dude in college when y'all both didn't have nothing, you would have had him then. But now that he has built himself up to make it 150, 200,000, now he knows he's a hot commodity. And now it's so many women that want him and that tries to get his attention. Now you ain't that 8 that he used to see back then. Now you done put on some weight. Now
Depreciation.
Yeah. Like, come on now. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's the way that it goes. And that's what so many of them are finding out now, that they all pretty much, most of them want the same type of guy. I got a post that I'm gonna put up to prove this in the next day or two. Yes, that they all want the same type of guy. You know what I mean? Them flaws and different things, they want the same type of guy. And the competition is so fierce, they don't understand it. Oh, y'all can't get one. You cannot get one like that. So, you know, the sooner they realize that, the better off they'll be.
All right, man. Looks like we are up against the clock. We're about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into tonight's topic, old dog, new tricks, where we're talking about basically the logistics and the day-to-day of dating and how it's changed over time. You are tuned into the Ho to Husband podcast. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Ho to Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Old Dog New Tricks. And we just talking about how the logistics of dating and the things that impact dating have changed, and how you just had to adapt and adjust if you know, over the years. Now, actually, this is kind of funny. We had a viral moment recently that kind of depicts the conversation that we're talking about. You know, back in the day, you know, when you was cheating, you could, you know, outside of getting caught in your bedroom or, you know, having a child or STD, those is kind of really the only ways that you could get really caught up. But today we had this situation that went viral where the executives was caught on the jumbotron at a concert, and all the fallout and how that has spiraled out of control. Like, man, you got to move different in 2025, man. You know, people need to come to terms with that and actually implement that in their behavior.
Yeah, man. You know, this is the jumbotron thing. You know, we talked about it. Like, this is all they fault. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be messing around at work. That's one thing, right? To be secretly smashing each other, whatever the case. It's a whole nother thing to be out at a concert with 50,000 people hugged up in front of coworkers that was there also. That's a whole nother level of I don't care, right? So if you don't care, you got to take everything that come with that, the fallout from it.
Man,
And you got to, you know what I'm saying? On both sides, her husband and his wife. Like, you got to take what comes from that from the home. The only thing is that if the lady divorced her husband, she'll still get his money.
Yep.
I was gonna say her husband's gonna take an L even if he divorces her.
Yeah, he gonna take the L either way it go 9 times out of 10, because he supposedly is a some type of big wig in another company. So, you know, it's one of them things for the man that's usually worse, has worse consequences when you're talking about work situations. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people get fired for messing with each other at work. I have never seen a woman get fired or disciplined from messing with somebody at work, ever. It's only been the men.
That's crazy how that works.
Nah, that's
I think in 2025, we just got to move differently, because everyone has, I think it's just universal across the board, right? Everyone has a smartphone these days, right? Everyone either has an iPhone or an Android. So everything is on camera.
Yeah.
You're one smartphone away from going viral. So everything you do, everything you say is being watched, no matter what, whether you think right, wrong, or indifferent here.
Yeah, I mean, and it don't just apply to, cameras, your text communication, your phone communication. Just about everything you do can be brought up. You don't know if somebody's secretly recording you, if there's a hidden camera somewhere. So you could be having a tracking device placed on you. So there are all type of things that could be going on without you knowing, that document what you're doing. And back in the day, it used to, a lot of people would get caught with their credit card receipts. Why do you have a hotel transaction? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, so it's all kind of stuff that could get you caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so as a husband, like, I think about, like, if I was doing dirt and I was trying to smash chicks in all these hotels and all this type of stuff, like, man, there's so much stuff that would make it easy, that would get me caught. I travel for work, so I get a gazillion Hilton and Marriott points. But my wife used free points and stuff, so it could be something as simple as getting a confirmation text for check-ins ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like one little text like that. Like, what you mean your check-in's ready? You know what I'm saying? Like, or how was your stay? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. How was your massage, Miss Duran? Massage? I didn't have no massage. Oh, his wife did. Oh, really?
Yeah, man. It's there's so much room for error in so many ways for your activity to get caught up with, that you have to be conscious of that in today's day and age. But not even, let's kind of peel the back. We were talking about cheating because that went viral. But just when we're talking about, like, somebody that has been in a long-term relationship and now they back out dating, you can't just have the same game plan and the same methods that you used to use back in the day to actually thrive in today's market. The way people engage and interact when they out in public is not the same that they did 10, 15 years ago. And so you have to learn how you have to move in 2025 in order to actually, survive or not be overlooked. And one of the things, we've talked about this before, that I think is probably the biggest, or one of the biggest things, is previous generations didn't have to worry about gender identification and that kind of stuff, like regular, like as a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gender identification? What do you mean?
Making sure that that's really a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's really born a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't. We used to hear about it, but it was not like a thing that everybody had to be conscious of and actually take into consideration. In today's day and age, you actually You gotta, like you said. I remember you said why one of the reasons you like dating single moms
Single
is
moms.
because
Yeah.
it eliminates that question. But
Okay, yeah.
that's not something that you really had to think about when we was coming up.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like
that's
like
true.
you would have never heard nobody say that. I want to make sure she's really a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
They say
man,
really a
yeah.
woman.
like so that adaptation in your thinking and observation is what I'm talking about. You never had to think about that before.
Yeah, I guess you're right, man, because you never know, man. Some new women done came out in the past 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So some new folks done showed up here in the past couple years, you know, that wasn't around back in the day like that. You know what I mean? They was around, but it wasn't really a big thing like that. So now it's more of a thing where I think that besides that, it's a lot of them also trying to hide it and trick people. There was a famous football player that went to Georgia, linebacker. This here case was just in the news over the past 6 or so years ago, where he killed the guy that he thought was a girl he met on like Tinder or something like that, and he was getting topped off. Well, he was getting topped off, and he reached down there and ran into a log. He thought that, you know what I'm saying, this was the chick. Man, wind up stomping the dude's brains out. We talking about a linebacker, 6'4", 260 pounds, and 18 or 19. So full of just energy and vigor. Man, stomped this dude to death, and he wind up getting acquitted of the murder. But now his NFL dreams is gone. He ain't played football in 3-4 years. So now his NFL dreams is gone. People aren't going to be attached to that. So, you know, you really got to do your homework on these here folks out here. And for the people that's out here like that, man, y'all need to be telling people so that you don't get yourself in some type of trick bag with somebody that ain't going to play with you and just let you walk up out of here because you done lied to them and not told them the truth. So, hey, I like single moms. That's just my thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever other people want to do. Jay, what you think about that, man? Because you dating too. You out here dating also. Have you ever, and this might be personal, have you ever ran into a person like that? I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I already know what you're saying there. But no, it's never happened, and then I hope it never does. It doesn't like it. Because now, you know, with technology, there's ways to alter, you know, an Adam's apple. There's ways to really try to, you know, they're doing all, even some states you can alter birth certificates.
Insane.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I did. When I was in Brazil, I'm sitting there, me and my guys, this photographer come up and, hey man, you know, this young lady want to talk to you. So I'm like, okay, let me talk. I mean, she want to talk. Go over there, and then I'm looking and I'm like,
something
is real strong about these features. You know what I'm saying? And you know, she's like, yeah, so what you doing later? I'm like, you know, we chilling, we going to the beach and we gonna do this and that and we gonna chill. Oh, okay, so can I get your number? I was like, no. No, because you know what I mean? The shoulders and the jawline, and I was like, no, I'm good. If I even got a question, if there's any question, I'm out because, hey man, you got this. Hey man, this oversized kid. I don't know what's going on here, man. What's happening here, man? Why this? No, man, this thing is outrageous, man. It's a pig in a blanket, man. This thing way too big.
Oh shit!
It's like a Vienna sausage in a hamburger bun, man. What's going on?
You stupid, man.
But hey, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? That was the one time that I looked at it and I was like, no, but that's for any guy. Like if you got any type of question about it in your mind, it's best to walk away and be like, no, you know what? Yeah, because you know, you never know, and you do not want to get in a situation like that. So
let's keep the conversation rolling. So another thing that I think really has changed the dynamic of dating in a way that I don't really think is documented or talked about that much. In previous generations, discussions about dating, relationships, cheating, viral moments, all that stuff, that wasn't an everyday thing back in the day. You know what I mean? That was barbershop
Yeah.
talk. That was salon
Yeah.
talk. You know, that was select, unique situations where you would just discuss those things. Somebody got pregnant, you know what I'm saying? Like, or somebody, got separated. That's when those conversations would come up. But now it's impossible. You can't even open up Instagram without seeing some type of influencer that's discussing a relationship or some viral clip or etc. And so it's constant, these conversations are being had 24 hours a day, and on every platform virtually.
Mm-hmm. It is, man. Like it gets kind of overwhelming sometimes, I guess. And I think it becomes irritating for me personally every now and then, because it's the same thing. Like it's not just the same things, because I'm cool with that, but it's the people not wanting to listen to what's going on and being said. I think that's what the frustrating part is. And I'll give you an example. Yeah, like I'll give you an example. A lot of times these are conversations about money come up of women that's making money, right? Why y'all intimidated by me, about women that make money? And no matter how many times men say, a lot of times we're not intimidated by nothing. We're turned off because the attitude that you display. And it goes in one ear and out the other. And they continue with this attitude, this boss chick behavior and all this here stuff, and don't want to listen to it and wonder why they don't get the results that they want. We see them on Kendra G all the time. Just seen one the other day where she was like, nope, 80,000 ain't gonna get it. I make way more than that, so that ain't gonna do it. And I'm looking like, sweetheart, this is the energy that the guy that makes the type of money that you do want him to make don't want to deal with, because the facts of the matter is that the more money a man makes, the more he's going to scrutinize everything about you. Because he knows he can get prettier women. He can get more cooperative women. He can get more in shape women. So when you say you want these here things, you have to be what those guys want. And that type of attitude is not it. And it becomes one of those things where I just throw my hands up and be like, you know what, forget it. So I get it, man. I understand it.
No, I think you do a good job of explaining what those men really want, what they actually want. I mean, you've gone on many platforms, been on many panels, and you explain it. And it's just, so a lot of times, some get it, some understand. They're like, they take heed to it, and then you got others. They're gonna give you tone deaf responses towards it, because like I said earlier, a lot of people think they can have it all, even before they think she's a 10.
I mean, I think the biggest reason they ignore it is because they can still get sexual attention from those men. Like, most men don't have the discipline that SD, displays with the my charts and all that. Most guys, if you get in the mood and there's opportunity, most guys, especially guys that don't have that much success with women, are going to take it. And so that's why, the decisions that a man makes when he's under the influence or when he's horny usually ain't in his best interest long term. Those are usually short term decisions that guys make in the fly. That's why there's so many consequences and long term repercussions. Like, man, I should have never done it. This CEO, they got caught. He knew damn well he's regretting a bunch of decisions that he made. But that's the reality of it is, for the guys, they have to make these decisions in real time, and most guys can't. So, it's kind of natural for guys to put themselves in bad positions and make bad decisions.
Yeah, because they doing what my dad used to say back in the day. They thinking with the wrong head. When you thinking with the wrong head, you probably gonna make the wrong decision. And when you out here making the wrong decisions in regards to women and how you control yourself sexually, there's gonna be 9 times out of 10 some type of consequence for it. And I always tell the dudes when I talk about the whole phase, there is a consequence for the whole phase. Don't think that it's just all peaches out here. For most dudes, there's gonna be a consequence. Whether it's a kid, that's a consequence from it. Whether it's getting your car windows busted, your house broken into, you might, like, some dudes catch STDs. Like, it's all, some dudes even get their lives ended for being out here being hoes running around out here. So it's a lot of consequences for this type of stuff. So you have to be careful and know what you're getting into and know when.
Hey, you increase the chances of coming across a crazy chick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Getting them car windows busted, buddy. I'm trying to tell you. I had a chick try to set me up. So you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It could be that too.
So I wanted to kind of switch gears. Another thing that I guess previous generations didn't really have to even think about or really deal with is for people that are dating or in relationships to balance your personal privacy with what you share on social media. You know, some people are to the extreme and have different, but that impacts not just you, it impacts the person you dating, it impacts your family, etc. And so it's a multi-layered thing that we're still relatively new in the social media era. So a lot of people are not really cognizant of how their actions impact them until it disrupts them or causes something negative to happen. And so that's one of the things that I think, like, man, 20 years ago, you didn't even have to worry about that. If, you got into an argument with your wife, it was a house argument. You know what I mean? It wasn't a viral moment. It wasn't something we discussing on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I really, I try to keep, a lot of different things away from it personally. Even when I was in a relationship, I never posted anything going on in my relationship. I don't even subliminally post anything going on when I was in a relationship at that time or in my dating life like that. Like if I'm dating and something happened, and I've had things happen, whatever the case, during the dating, and I don't even go on there and post subliminally about it. So that's one thing that I look at in women sometimes. If I talk to a woman and I see her social media, I have seen women dog out their baby daddy. Like, come on there with text messages, he this, he that, and I'll be like, boom, red flag, automatic. I don't want to deal with no chick like that. Yeah, or they posting text messages from some dude that they dated and calling them names and whatever. Nope, red flag off bat, because I know that if you'll do it to them, you'll do it to me. Yep, so that ain't something that I want to do on social media. Absolutely not. So, Jay, you ever ran into that?
Like, I've seen it, and I steer clear from women like that's gonna post screenshots or post everything you're doing. Like, because for me, I don't like to post too much of my personal life on social media. I'm very careful. I'm very cautious of what I post on there. So if I'm with a woman that wants to post everything, hey, we on date night, we doing X, Y, and wants to post every single moment on social media, that's a red flag for me. I don't want to deal with somebody like that.
Like, I don't mind if we gone. You know what I'm saying? We out, and then you record something, and then when we at home, now you posting it, hey, you know what I'm saying, posting a meal, whatever. Like, I'm cool with that. Yeah, after the fact, I'm good with it. But like, if we there in the moment and you like, yo, yeah, come pull up, we at blah blah blah. I don't like that. We might be doing this meet and greet, and I don't even like people knowing where I'm going to be, because it just be like, you know what I'm saying, you don't know who out in the atmosphere, who out here in social media world that don't really care.
It's different when you a personality, though. I mean, like, you got appearances and shows and all that.
I know, man.
So
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming a public figure. Even a small level, just having a following and having followers. Where if something came up with you and somebody posted, if somebody went viral with a video about SD and I caught SD doing this, it would get reposted on other platforms. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of them out there. I'm hoping they put them out. Go ahead, put them out. Post them.
So yeah, I mean, but you do have to be conscious of how social media impacts your family with this day and age. So I think those are kind of things that make this era of dating and relationships unique. So man, looks like this episode flew by, man. We up against the clock already. So we about to be getting up out of here, man. But before we go, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us late with our background music. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up so we can get this episode knocked out. This has been another episode of the Hold a Husband podcast. Y'all, thanks for tuning in. Peace.